It has been 2 F1 seasons and 3 world titles since Toto Wolff dramatically withdrew his appeal against the injustice Lewis Hamilton suffered in Abu Dhabi. For the record, we held then, still hold now, and will forever hold the view that he should not have dropped the appeal. With the passage of time, despite alleged assurances to the contrary, an unrepentant FIA has continued to target, and indeed, intensify its attacks on Lewis Hamilton, while continuing to prop up Max Verstappen. We are not aware of any credible or concrete steps that Toto Wolff has taken to hold the FIA accountable, as he grandly claimed he would when he withdrew his appeal. If anyone is aware of such, kindly share them with us in the comments section below. Like millions of others, we believed then that this was the inevitable consequence of dropping the appeal, so why would Toto not also have known? In this video, we will highlight series of events which point to the F1 and FIA's escalation of attacks on Sir Lewis. Toto's empty or muted responses, in the face of such hostility, suggest that he has been compromised, and therefore unable and/or unwilling to hold his wife's employers accountable. Under these circumstances, it appears that Toto must have cut a deal for himself and his wife, while leaving Lewis exposed to the assurances provided by those unscrupulous people who perpetrated the most scandalous theft in sporting history. For the record, we believe there are other players in the F1 bubble who have been outplayed or cowered by Liberty Media as well, and we will address those in subsequent videos. So, if you haven't already, you are invited to like, subscribe, and click the notification icon to be notified when the next video is uploaded. Returning back to the issue of Toto, it should be noted that at the time of the withdrawal, in the history of F1, he was the boss of the most successful driver, and the most successful team with the biggest budget. The owner of the most successful car, and the most successful engine that was supplying 40% of the grid. This not only raises the question of why under these circumstances, Toto dropped the appeal, but also, why Liberty Media felt confident enough to nobble a Mercedes driver in the first place. The question of why Liberty Media believed they could get away with it will be addressed in a subsequent video. On the matter of Toto knowingly exposing Lewis to further attacks from F1 and the FIA, it should be noted that the fact that he got his wife to set up the false pretext for the withdrawal is evidence of consciousness of guilt. The suggestion that the injustice was down to Michael Masi alone was frankly risible and an affront to one's intelligence, so we won't even dignify it with any further comment. Toto subsequently added insult to the injury by staging the scene for his surrender. His somber and forlorn appearance belied the fact that he was recovering from his hangover from celebrating the spectacular success of Abu Dhabi. How he expected anyone but his wife to take him seriously is beyond us. Nevertheless, Toto went on to turn himself and the English language inside out, as he claimed that, while he did not accept the result, he did not believe that they would get justice from the International Court of Arbitration, so he was withdrawing his appeal. Again, we won't dignify that rubbish with further comment, beyond asking you to share your views on this in the comment section below. Toto in effect said that, given that the sport had no credible process for holding the FIA accountable, he should just let them get on with doing as they pleased. And by heck, they certainly are getting on with it. History is rife with lessons about the futility of appeasement, but it appears that this is a lesson that F1 and Toto Wolff are doomed to repeat. There have always been those who at key junctions in history had the means and motivation to stop tyrants in their tracks, but failed to do so, at a greater cost to mankind. There was Hitler and Chamberlain, Trump and Biden, and now Malone and Wolff. Toto, who appears to be a wolf by name, but sheep by nature, had the opportunity in December 2021 to save F1 from the darkness that John Malone and Liberty Media have plunged it into, but woefully failed to do so. Wolff's failure has ushered F1, like sheep, into the darkest days in its history. A period where the greatest of all time is openly disrespected, races are blatantly rigged, rules are changed mid-race, and people who know better are pretending otherwise. The integrity of a sport whose roots date back over 100 years and represents the ultimate pairing of man and machine, is being sacrificed for a few dollars, on the altar of the quintessential narcissist. In future videos on this topic, we will look further into Toto's role and those of other players in F1, outside of the Red Bull bubble.